It was very, very, very nice person to just. Is it working? Nope. Just to test it. Yeah. Maybe it's switch out. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, it's just like spoilers. So yeah, just welcome. Thank you very much for just. It's really, really nice to be here, and because we just have almost the same presentation yesterday in Vilnius, and it was really.
Guys, can you be quiet, please? Спасибо.
No, it's really okay because I just have the same presentation, almost the same, presentation yesterday in Vilnius, and everyone was completely quiet. So just like I'm talking with the walls. So just talk with me, just interrupt me, just ask questions during the presentation. It's completely okay. But if you have, I don't know, more generic question or something like that, just feel free to find me in the lobby there after the presentation. I will answer all the questions. I hope it will help you to succeed. So yeah, the first spoilers was about this one. This is a nice effect that Valentin that says that I can't really go to the stage without this effect, so he would reject me from the schedule and just have a free time for everyone. So I just really, really have to have it here. What happened when I just prepared the presentation? I just talked with my friend, and they say, Max, do you have a really, I don't know, 2 or 3 free tickets for the conversation? I think it's already, most of the time happened with the speakers here in Minsk, and I just said, sorry, I can't help you with that, but I'm really like you to join me and just listen for my presentation, just provide me a feedback, and honest feedback like you always do. But he said, okay, but what will be you talking about? And I say it was about CQRS, about data, about event sourcing, and thereafter he said, okay, I was really attended 3 or more events here in Minsk and Vilnius, and everyone, just for every event, they just talk about CQRS, or they just talk about event sourcing, or they just talk about both of this. And the only thing I just understand after that, it's additional complexity, and it's almost useless. Most of the time, I will never, ever, ever use it. And I said, why? Why would you like to do that? Why would you like to, I don't know, reject another approach to build this kind of good stuff and just to work with the data and something like that? So and he said, do you know, I just really get no idea why should I use a CQRS or event sourcing. So my main objective for today is just to present you enough motivation to use CQRS and event sourcing and consider what the data nature is really looks like. Where is the data come from? So how would you like to process the data? How it will be well enough to work with the data? How it will be productive for you? How it will be performant in more performance way for your customers? And I have just a small question for you. It's, do you like stories? Whew, thank you, because I have no another version of my presentation, and my presentation starts with this one. So just meet Tom, and Tom is one of us. He's just a nice developer. He just worked, I don't know, 2 years for Ruby on Rails, and he's very excited with his new project. His new project is about sales funnels. Sales funnels is conversation rate between every user interaction with your app or with something like that, like starting from the first the way he sees the advertisement and down to proceed to check out and pay. So just something like that. And just at I think most of the time we just end up with starting with something like this. We just start the project model generations from this most of the time. Yeah, it's really like that. It's just like, I don't know, nice Rails generation model, and you just don't consider about what's going on there. And we just start with something like this. Yeah. Sometimes, how many? So, for example, have you ever tried this? Yeah, it's more than in Vilnius, thank you. Have you tried it, I don't know, in 1 year? starting from now. So have you tried it in current project? Yeah, I have one, thank you. Two. Nice, it's very nice to see you here because the motivation to do this one is to really understand what is the data and where it's come from. And most of the time we just build the model, we just use active record most of the time. I mean, just don't beat me after. Most of the time we just do everything in this way. But we don't just think about how it's going on, how will our data model will looks like. It's like on the ER model, and what's the business case and the business model we are concerned about. And we just really need to understand that. I hope I will try to help you with that. And who just ever heard about it? And is SQL dead for today? It really is. And I believe I just Googled a bit before the presentation and just found that the actual reports, for I don't know 1 month ago, they say that RDBMS system hopefully will never die because we just almost the time we just need this transaction and consistency and so on stuff. But maybe 10 years ago it was like, NoSQL is the next big thing, and you just have to use it. We just use it all over the time. Just use it everywhere. It's fast. It's constant. It's WebSQL. It's at every. It's use Memcache. Use MongoDB and so on. It's just like perfect. But it's not right. This one. So why do you think we just end up with this a lot of number? It's not really every database we can use, but why we end up with a lot of these different approaches? Anyone? I think we just, yeah.
I think different constraints, different guarantees, I guess.
Nice. Once more.
You can have one central stuff for everything.
Thank you. It's exactly why I'm here. Really one sentence why I'm here. You can't use one single model for everything. For example, have you ever tried to do, I don't know, full text search? Yeah, most of you. Nice, because in Windows it was like 5 people and whoa. What the hell project are you working on? Sorry, I mean that, are you using SQL-like stuff for that? No one, thank you. Are you using something like Lucene or Sphinx or Elastic, or I don't know, just any other stuff? Because I think that you are rational and you just use it because of its performance, because it's convenient to use it, because it's easy to use it, and because it really solves the problem that you're really concerned about. And this is really nice, and I want you to first think about the data, where it's come from, its nature, and after just try to find a specific approach, specific instrument that will be used to solve this problem, exactly this problem. Who has a bank account? Why it's not everyone? I don't know, but I assume everyone has. And just imagine, small situation. For example, I just check, I don't know, today morning I just checked my bank account and I think it should be enough money for, I don't know, rent a car. It should be like $1,200 for renting a car. But I then go there and just, the car rental company just reject my invoice and say, you have not enough money. And I just called this girl. Seems like very nice, well, yeah. And she said, okay, take me 1 minute and I will take a look. And she said, my table, just listen for that. My table shows that you have only $100. Are you happy with that? I don't think so. So what is our account really is? Is it really like one column at the table? Or it's a summation of all transactions we really have? So the main question on this slide is about this. So is it really equal? So maybe you're concerned that, okay, this is really the last bottom line with total everything, and it's really okay. But how can we prove that? I don't know, because I think it's $1,200, and they say it's 100. So what will you do next? Can you somehow just say you're right and they are wrong? And what will you do next if they say we are okay? Column says that, and it's really true. Will you change your bank? I think so, but it's not really an idea. So, oh, sorry for that. I just don't remove it because it's really nice one. My idea is about you have to think a bit about what is the data when to use it. So, for example, something like that. I think it's really nice picture for this one. And is there a lot of complex business stuff where we are using these crude models like active record models? Because most of the time, I mean the complex business model like accounting, like gambling, like finance, like healthcare. Most of the time, there are number of events. I mean, number of transactions, number of everything that's immutable. So they just get it down to the list, and after just process it and get to the right data. And all of the time, you can just roll back and see what was going on there, just to concern something, that find an issue or something like that. Another example can be like, yeah, I will talk a bit later. I just see this one. Some of you just thought, what? Where is the talk about CQRS? Where is the talk about event sourcing? Why we're talking about the data? But this is all where both these approaches come from. So I hope you will understand this a bit later if you have an idea now. So let's get back to Tom and just concern what's going on with him now. Seems like, for example, let's take his case. We just have this order created, 3 items added, 1 items removed, and after purchase. So, and for example, we have this one. So, and we will end up, if we are using a crude model, if you're using active record, we will end up with something like this. User came, I mean order created, 2 items added, and order saved, I mean created, I purchased, and something like that. Is it really the same? I see something say yes, something no, but it's really hard sometimes to concern about that. But it's not really the same, because all over the time you just completely remove something from your database. All over the time when you do that, you will lose the data. You will lose the data. You will lose the data that anyone from that business guy, that strange business guy that has this crazy ideas about how this thing should be done, they can come up with you and say, what's going on? So, but next, get back to Tom, and he just think about, he's okay, crude model is nice, and I will use active record, just don't say me anything about what? Data nature, so what was that? And after a while, he just built the system. He just got his boss said, okay, provide me a report. He just, okay, I can do that. It's very simple. I just have to select the data out of the database. And he came back to his boss, and his boss said, okay, well, but how this report can look like if I were ask you, I don't know, 20 hours ago? I think Tom looks like this. Because why should you do that? Because, and boss said, okay, I just want to check, I don't know, my people stuff, why they just do this approach and select this approach, but doesn't select another one. So I just want to see what was the data at the start of the date, check their manipulations, check their actions, and see how it will looks like at the end of the day, just to, I don't know, understand who I have to, I don't know, fire or something like that. Yeah, okay, I can do that, definitely, but I don't know why I didn't that, and I don't know how to do that, but here is event sourcing is coming from. In general idea, event sourcing is about storing every single event, every single user interaction with the system, and do something like reporting, something like, I don't know, filtering and searching really after. The main idea is every single event is immutable. So you just store it once, you will have never, ever, ever change it. And this will, like, yeah, the same example as we talked about before. The main idea is just to, event is something that had happened. So we just call it in past time. So user came, item selected, item removed, order saved. It's called in past time. And all over the time, we just manipulate with the data, like removing, editing, like adding in new ones, something like that. We just store it at the bottom of the event log. Is it really like new, something new? Have you, I don't know, are you using Git? Git and GitHub? I think Aaron should like this. Because, yeah, it was really tricky just to present something after Aaron, because his presentation is really amazing, and yesterday it was like, I have to remove all the cats after his presentation because it's really mainstream there. The idea is that every single thing you just see on the slide using events log. Like PostgreSQL just append everything you are doing with the data into event log and after process it. Like prior bank just use every single transaction, just store it and calculate at the end of the data this current state. So just think about this like a cache. So just a cache for everyone to see how many dollars they have in their account. And it just takes a while for me just to find something like this when you just put the data or first erase it and just put the data inside the accounting book. Because accountants never ever do that. Because it adds additional complexity right after audit to find where was the error and who have to be put in the jail or something like that. But, sorry, it's about Belarusian context, but sorry. The idea we have here two main things here. The first is events is immutable, and the next one is we just only append it to the bottom. We just append it all over the time. We just have never just put it into the middle or somewhere after. And we just talked about my speech. It was not so good enough yesterday, but I hope today is a little bit better. We just talked about my speech with other speakers, and we found a nice approach for example, who are using PostgreSQL. Nice to see a lot of hands. Who are using the latest data? I mean 9.5 or 9.6. Yeah, almost the same hands. Thank you. I'm not sure, but I found that at the version of 9.5, they just add additional indexes that will works very well with stuff like event sourcing. They just assume that data is immutable and data appends to the end, and it's just very little. I mean, use very small space, so it should be perfect enough for event sourcing. But I think you'll check this later. So what about pros, like characterizing for the data? It's really easy to scale, because the only thing you just have to do is like adding in something new and append it. So for example, let's just think about data like, I don't know, a model, like brick or something. So just it's pretty enough to add brick one by one when you building a house. Like instead of removing one in the middle and get something new back there. It's very, very secure because, sorry, I just have to look there because he's just waiting. And it's very, very secure because the data is immutable. You just have to put only insert statement. So you just give only small amounts of writes and it gets additional security. For example, it's very secure for injecting, for hackers attack. Because when so for everyone just to change the data, you just have to completely copy and paste it to another place, just change it after, and completely get it back. And for example, if you have 1 terabyte of data, it's just like, I don't know, 1 hour to just transform it to another server. Or let's concern that it takes 1 minute. So you just have to create something like heartbeat server that just check if the data is there, if it's changed or in the middle or something like that, just build a hash function or something like that. So all over the time, it will be changed. Like for inserting something in the middle, you will see that and you will just ignore that, or you just mark everything is broken. And that's eventual consistency. Most of our Rails application is already mentioned consistent. It's like what's going on there. When to use it? The first thing I will say it, I don't know, a lot of time, but the first thing you just have to concern about is data nature. Where does the data come from and how it looks like, how it's generated, how it's stored or something like that. And when you see your data is a book of record, like who have a general practice doctor? No, really? Who have ever go to the clinic, to the hospital? Yeah, I hope everyone. And what does your doctor do? Is he just remove the previous page with the previous diagnosis he had and just put in a new one? Or he just append it like at the bottom? So this is a nice example, nice pretty example for using event sourcing in that way. So, and for accounting, for finance, for everything thereafter. Event sourcing comes with a nice, really nice event. It calls event storming. It's a workshop, and the business guys like workshop because they just came around, just eat together, just sing, just laugh, and so on. So, and every developer, I think, just like that because you just have no to prog everything all the time. And it's really powerful because you just have all the stakeholders, like all the developers that will work on your project. You just have all this business guy, and you just can end up with a lot of questions to them, and just in order to understand the data nature and just to understand the project, just to be more motivated and something like that. It's engaging because you just all the time work together. You just feel their hand like near you. It's efficient because it takes, for example, one day just to present everything and just get something like that. It's pretty easy because, yeah, for example, have you ever used a UML? Is it good enough? Thank you. It's really sometimes complicated to understand the notation, just to understand how to use it and what's the right source to use it, when to use it, and something like that. And here you have almost no notation. You can just write it down how you think it is. You can just talk with developers. They just can correct it a bit. And at the end, you will just end up with fully understanding what the data you're working on, how it's generated, where it's come from, how to use it, and so on. This really helps to build a more effective system. It really helps to save time on the later stage, because if you just build a system like you think it is, how many times you have to, I don't know, run new migration or just rebuild it? All over the time. Who just do it every day? I don't know, once a week. Once a month. That can't be true. But okay, just some of you, it's really nice, because I think we just do this maybe 2 or 3 times a week. Just definitely, it's like minimum level because all over the time our requirements change. The customer just changed something, and we have to deal with. And it's really fun. It's really fun to participate. It's really fun to get out of all this digital stuff, remove it completely away, and just take paper and pencil and just write some, I know, nice people there, and just talk with them. So what should Tom do in this case? So he can just build a report once in I don't know, 20 hours, 4 hours, 20 seconds. So we will end up with a lot of records. We just have to store it and process it. And what's about the third normal form? I mean, how many of you ever concerned about that? How many of you just think that your database you're working on now is in third normal form, or almost is also okay? What? So can you just a bit up? Yeah, 1, 2, nice. But why didn't we do that? Why should we do that? Because we just use it for writing. We just use it for efficient writing because I don't know. The university guy says that. Another guy said that you should use a normal form, and at work some of your colleagues said that you have to use it. But how many of you have, I don't know, let's start from 100 writes per second. How many of you have 500 writes per second? 1,000. Yeah, and I think, where is it? I think my iPhone can do that. This only small device can just work with that and just handle this all 100 writes per second, and it's completely okay. In the other thing, we have a reads, and I found that reads just take, for example, I found that it was like 90 to 99% of all the requests. I think you just have to go. So, have you ever used stats in PostgreSQL? Have you tried to compare number of reads, or you just like, oh, nice stuff, I can handle it, it's okay? I'm just using for changing how many reads I have in comparison with how many writes I have. I'm not the only one, it's nice. So just get back, it just takes, I don't know, 5-10 minutes for you to check this out, and I think you will also find that you have 90 to 99% of all the queries is read queries. So why do we have to build the database for writing instead of building it for reading? And other projections are really good. Projections, I mean this denormalized data, reports, and so on. Is it really okay to store all of them, just to aggregate all of them? And for example, if your data is mutable, so you just can, for example, you just work with 1 year project, you just have 5 gigabytes of data, and one record from 1 year ago has been changed. Occasionally, it can happen. So you have to rebuild all the reports you have after, all of them. It's just like a bit crazy. And this is where CQRS is coming from. CQRS is Common Query Responsibility Segregation. After the title, you can just get that this segregated, split out the comment and query. We just get back to this later. And talking about Tom's example, he just rebuilt the system with event sourcing underneath, and he just end up and try to rebuild the reports. He succeeded with that. He just go to their production, and production says, okay, we'll use it. And after an hour, they just came back and say, why it takes 1 hour to generate the reports for 1 year or something? I want to do it exactly in 1 second or 2 seconds, or I can't wait for that, because for every business guy, the time is the money, and they just concerned about it. They just all over the time think that their workers are not working in a proper way, and they have to be more efficient all over the time. And sometimes I just don't say that you do this, but sometimes the developers do this one. They just say, well, it's working very well on my machine, so I just don't concern. It's really good one. But it really works well when you just try it for 1,000 rows, I don't know, 1 million rows. And if you're using event sourcing, it just grows very fast, and you just can end up with, we just found that our increase of data is like 8 to 10 gigabytes per week. Like to store all the events we have. We started, it's a big one, it's just 4 kilobytes, but it just grows very fast. And in that point, you can think, so okay, why, if I use an event sourcing and if I have a lot of data, so will it cost a lot for the customer? Because the customer also concerned about the cost all the time. Will it be expensive too much? And can you remember what was the rates for the storage, I don't know, 2 years ago? It was like 2 times more than now. So all over the year, like for Moore's law, it was actually a bit faster change, and some guy just can prove that, but I don't know his name. I just don't remember about. And he said that every single 18 months, everything will be 2 times faster and 2 times cheaper and so on. So don't really concern about that. So let's get a closer look how it looks nice. It looks now at Tom's machine. It looks something like this. You just build a report. You just have this nice view, nice controller and model. You will end up with this. They just have 1 hour to do, and after this, I don't think he like his work very well, and he'd like to waste his time. With CQRS, it's time to change the game. The game is changed, like you just split everything for query and comment model. I'm a bit out of time, so I will go a bit faster. So it's like 5 or 10 slides, 5, 6. And you can ask me about everything just like after at the lobby. We just have this comment and query. Comment is used for writing, so you can just use it in third normal form and just be completely sure that everything's okay. And the query is used for querying, for getting the information. It just reads. So no time for coffee. It's so sad, but it should be okay. Sorry for misspell. CQRS is characterized by simplicity because it's really simple approach. It's really simple technique to use it. It's not an architecture. I just want you to know that it's not an architecture. It's an architectural pattern. It's tooling. It had a lot of tools. I mean, not gems for using it, like tools you can combine it with. It's really easy to scale because you have to scale only that thing that's sucks. Sorry for that. You just have to, for example, if you have very slow reads, you just have to scale only that part. It's has dimensional consistency, good data storage for everything, and nice scalability. So in conclusion, I just want to get back and say that you have to see what is really your data and find the exactly nice approach to solve the problem you have to face with. And I just have to do that again because I really like this. So thank you for being here, and welcome to a lot of questions.
Thank you. We have one here.
Thank you for your talk. Just wanted to ask, this whole talk really reminded me about the business intelligence. Aren't they doing the same thing?
Can you repeat
business intelligence? They have data
Yeah.
warehousing, only reading.
Only for reading, and they just specialize in that. They just use graph models. They just use
Right.
a lot of the stuff just for reading because it's more convenient and easy to do that.
So it's just an alternative. Or another approach.
It's not an alternative. It's like a pattern here. It's like an approach you can use it, and because business intelligence is more.
Heavy duty.
Yeah, it's really, but I mean, it's more like brand names. So if you have a brand name and you just write after business intelligence is like 2 times more cost, something like that, really. But underneath, they just used almost the same approach.
Okay, thank you.
More questions? No. 3, 2, 1.
Sold.
Sold.
I
Okay.
just really wait for 2 seconds. Thank you.